All right. We're now joined by our third-place finisher in tonight's Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown, driver of the number 41 Alpha Energy Solution Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky, Ben Rhodes. Ben, talk about your run tonight.
Well, I guess it'd be easier to talk the weekend. Unloaded pretty fast, but we really had to tune on the car, tried a lot of things, and we never get it just right. So we went into qualified fifth. That's about where I was expecting. I think we had about a fifth-place car tonight. We were a little too tight in the race, and I learned some stuff there at the end that really helped me, and I was able to get a boost and a run up on David Ragan, but it just wasn't enough time. And it was really tricky to do, too, so I don't know if I had anything for him. But it was a really good run for us, and I think maybe I can put that to use next time I come back.
Ben, obviously, good run in the beginning of the year at Daytona, good run here. Two different kinds of tracks, but what is it about these big stages that you excel on?
It's really not even these big stages. It's just this year. I got with a really good team this year, Hawk McCall Motorsports. Lee McCall is my crew chief, and we just are clicking, We got the communication, and we're gelling, and it's really working out really well. And I just enjoy having him as my crew chief, and I think we're going to do pretty well this year.
We got any questions for Ben? Jeff? And then over.
Hey, I'm Jeff Clark from USA Today. I'm just wondering, when you're out on the track with these guys, and you obviously watch them every weekend and all that stuff, and you don't get a chance to run against them very often, do you push yourself any harder? Do you feel any extra pressure to run with those guys?
The first year I came here as a rookie, I felt that pressure. But now that it's my second year in late models, I've hooked up with Turner Scott Motorsports this year. I'm driving for them, the K&N, for part-time, then full-time next year. And, as I'm progressing up through it, I get to see these guys a little bit more. I just more comfortable in the car. I got more experience, and I just feel like I can push it, and I don't have to feel like I have to perform harder for these guys because I'm already getting into the right ranks, I guess you could say, with Turner Scott, and I'm meeting new people. So I feel like we're with good team, good equipment. I think we'll perform well.
We're also joined by our runner-up from tonight, driver of the number 77 Scuttle Tight, David Ragan Ford. David Ragan? David, talk about your run tonight.
It was fun. I feel like I drove as hard as I could for 75 laps. We were really good for like 10, 12 laps or so, and then the car would just lose the right front tire a little, and couldn't quite roll the center like I needed to. So I was hoping for a debris caution or something there at the end, but it was fun. This was my first Denny Hamlin Showdown, and had a great time. It was good to see a lot of the fans here supporting the race. The K&N race was great, so it's a good prelude to the weekend here. I'm a big Richmond fan. This is one of my favorite tracks, so yeah, it's great to come back to my roots and run a late model stock and get to race with a lot of these young kids that are up and coming, and it's a lot of fun. And we had a chance to win, so we Kyle's pretty good here. His record is pretty amazing. So maybe next year we can come back and make our car a little bit better and have a shot to duke it out.
We'll go over here and then to Stan.
Hank Kurz with AP. Kyle said that he was kind of saving some stuff in case there was a late restart, and in case you were saving anything. Did you feel like you could catch him if there was?
I was driving as hard as I thought that I needed to keep him within 2 or 3 car lengths. I couldn't really tell how close the guys were behind me, and I certainly didn't want to lose any spots behind me. But Kyle may say that when he's standing in victory lane that he was just cruising a little bit, but I bet he was driving pretty hard. I feel like our car was really good, was better than his for a few laps, and then his car was a little superior after that. But nevertheless, man, I wish we would have had a couple of laps that we could have raced side by side there at the end. That would have been fun.
And Ben, were you saving anything?
What's that?
Same question. Were you saving anything?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Were you saving anything at the end for Kyle?
No, I was going all out. I was telling the guys on the team, I'm not really saving any tires. I'm going as hard as I can, but not spinning them. And that's about what I did, 75 laps. These guys had great cars, and I was wasn't too good on the restarts. We were trying to get that worked out. Couldn't really see the flag standing the other guys. So I felt like that was my only opportunity, and I kind of messed that up a little bit. But these guys, just running against them is amazing. So maybe one day I could race against them a little more. But I wasn't saving anything at all. I was going all out.
Stan?
Stan Creekmore with RPM tonight. You just kind of answered my question, so I'll direct it to the other individual. How relaxing was tonight? I mean, you have 2 days of intense racing facing you. So how relaxing was tonight?
Very relaxing, certainly, that we finished all the laps and run well. But this is kind of my hobby, my golf game, so to speak. I enjoy coming out and doing this. It's certainly a lot less pressure. It's fun to get out with your crew guys that they got other jobs. They're doing this because they want to. Some of the guys in the NASCAR garage, they're doing it for a job and a job only. Maybe they're burnt out, maybe they're a little older, or they're disgruntled. But it's fun to come and hang with crew guys that want to be here. They're doing this for fun, and certainly it would have been a lot cheaper to watch the race from the grandstands tonight. But this is fun, and I appreciate all the other teams coming out and spending their time and money and effort to get here, and certainly the fans. I'm glad we put on a good show for the fans, and I think both races tonight were great. And you just you enjoy it. It's relaxing, and like you said, tomorrow kind of starts the job. This was the hangout session before we punch in tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jeff? Back to Jeff, and then... Or go you, and then Jeff. That's fine.
Dave Lawrence, Richmond Suburban News. Kind of for both of you, do you, with all the bumper cars that we've had tonight, with all the cautions, do you do you just keep going pedal to the metal, or do you back off and try and be a little bit more cautious and try not to get banged up, particularly for you with the races coming up?
As far as tonight's race, I mean, you're certainly conscious of the guys around you, and you want to be safe. You don't want to make any bad decisions or do anything foolish to put your health in jeopardy, because the big show is Saturday night. But these cars are very safe. NASCAR regulates the lower tier series as hard as they do the others. They have safety inspection. The seat that I drove in tonight is very much the same seat that I'll race in this weekend. So all these guys are good. And this is an invitational race that you forget this. It's not your rookies. It's not your guys that this is their first or second race, or they're driving a 5-year-old outdated car. All these guys are race winners. There's champions at some track. There's a lot of good cars here. So it's not like your typical Saturday night show that pays $500 to win somewhere. These guys are pretty good, and they've taken their time out to come out on a Thursday night and go racing. So you have a little bit more respect for everybody, knowing that it is an invitational race only.
Yeah.
David, I'm just curious about this. Obviously, a lot has to do with the car when you go anywhere. But when you come to a place where you've personally had good runs in the past, like here, and that you like the track, do you walk in with a different kind of like a swagger or a sense of confidence that helps you run, or does that not matter how you feel about it?
Oh, absolutely, it matters. And this race, my rookie year, we finished third in 2007 in the Cup car, and have had some other great races nationwide and Cup. And you have some confidence. The biggest thing, I think, is you just know what that feel is that runs good. You have a good feel for what you need in practice. You kind of look back, if you keep good notes from year to year, regardless if you change teams or change crew chief, most all drivers keep some personal notes, and you just know what you got to have to end practice at 3:30 in the afternoon. You know what the track's going to be like at 7:30 when the race starts. So I think that you just have some good experience versus a track where you've always struggled at. You don't really know what you're trying to feel. So once you get that feeling down, and even though we've been through a couple of generation cars, since a lot of us have been running the last 5 or 6 years, and the track changed, Goodyear changes, but you just know what that feels like. But yeah, you do have some extra confidence as well. It's fun coming to tracks that you've won at, or that you've set on the pole, or that you run well at. You have some confidence, and that certainly puts everybody, including myself, in a good mood, on practice day.
David, who built your car?
So Jamie Yelton, his team is called Fathead Racing. If you meet Jamie, you'll know where that name came from. Jamie's he's an old Legends car racer. He has a late model team that David Garbo Jr. drives for, a young up and coming kid, and Austin Hill ran a third car for him tonight. So he's a good old school guy. He goes to win, and he races short tracks for full time. So it was a Jay Hedgecock chassis, which is kind of ironic. About 10 years ago, when I had a late model stock, I had a Jay Hedgecock chassis. So that was kind of cool to drive one of those.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, guys.